The final album the Beatles recorded before their breakup in April 1970, Abbey Road, remains one of the band's most iconic works. Having sold over 30 million copies worldwide, it showcased the continued songwriting partnership of John Lennon and Paul McCartney across most of its 17 tracks. Yet, for many listeners and critics, it was George Harrison who quietly stole the spotlight. And on this very day in 1969, the Beatles entered the UK singles chart with one of Harrison's greatest achievements. Was George Harrison's classic love song inspired by his first wife? By the late 1960s, George Harrison had grown into a confident songwriter and guitarist. Normally, he would come into recording sessions with a clear sense of how his guitar parts would sound. But during the making of Something, he took a completely different approach, relying more on instinct than precision. In an interview years later, Harrison recalled that he had only a loose sense of what he wanted for the solo, describing the process as experimental and spontaneous. He also admitted that he might have been slightly under the influence at the time, which added to the unpredictable energy of his performance. After trying several takes, the band decided to take a break, leaving the track unfinished. When Harrison eventually heard the final mix after returning from vacation, he was pleasantly surprised by how natural and emotional the solo sounded, capturing a spark of improvisation he hadn't expected. Something is widely believed to have been inspired by Harrison's first wife, Pattie Boyd. Over time, the song became one of the Beatles' most beloved ballads and the second most covered track in their catalog, just after Yesterday. Among its admirers was Frank Sinatra, who once praised it as one of the greatest love songs ever written, though he often mistakenly credited it to Lennon and McCartney. Even Elvis Presley, who was not particularly known as a Beatles fan, expressed admiration for the song. According to his stepbrother David Stanley in a 2025 interview, Presley held deep respect for Harrison's songwriting, considering him the most creative of the group. Presley's favorite Beatles tracks all came from Harrison's pen: Something, Norwegian Wood, If I Needed Someone, and Here Comes the Sun, a testament to the quiet Beatles' growing influence as one of the era's most soulful and poetic voices.